Hello, everybody. It is 21 next. It is 3/3/25 as part of your day here. And we got a lot to talk about. It's almost Fat Tuesday. You figured out what you're giving up for Lent? If you are celebrating that, well, people that are celebrating that are not celebrating the way they want to in Lebanon County. That's our first story. Let's get Maxine Rose in on this. Fasnachts. It's a tradition unlike any other, especially in this area. But it will not be the same in Lebanon because St. Cecilia's has some big problems when it comes to trying to make 70,000 of these things. What is happening?
Oh, yeah. So this is a hot spot for a lot of people when it comes to Fasnachts. Fasnachts. I'm just getting the name down here.
Wait. Let's hold on a second. You were here last year.
Yeah.
You know what Fasnachts are.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I know. I know what they are. I've seen what they look like. I have not had one yet, but I'm going to get to that. Trust me.
Okay.
But unfortunately, not from Lebanon this year. So like I said, it was just, it's that hot spot. People come from all over, Joel D. I spoke with Father Mike today, lead pastor at St. Cecilia's. He was saying, people come from New York, West Virginia. And I think he said that there were some people who put up tents the morning that they were starting all of this. They actually were staying outside early to be the first people to get the first batch. Craziness.
It looks like, a factory and a machine. And we're looking at some stuff from the past, not necessarily St. Cecilia's, but giving people a feel like this is a tradition for this area. It's a fundraiser. Yeah. And you see the smiles. People enjoy doing this. And they've had some people that will come from really far away just to be a part of this every year as volunteers too.
Right, totally. They've got 50 roughly volunteers working on this, and it's people inside the church, out of the church, really just helping out.
Okay, let's get into what the problem is. What happened?
Yeah. Okay, so the problem was that on Saturday, 2 of their mixers, it's the only mixers that they have to make
industrial size, big mixers. Yes.
Oh, yeah. And they had electrical issues. One was sparking. The other one just started really heating up, and it became a safety issue, really. So they had to just stop, which meant all the people who were waiting out in the line outside the church then have to be told, we can't give you them.
So they were already in line to do what?
To pick up their order. So it's either you're picking up the dozens of Fasnachts.
So they were making them early. They weren't just waiting until tomorrow.
What do you mean by that?
When were they trying to make these? Because I thought they most of the time we're seeing them making them overnight, but I guess they make a bunch in advance too.
Yeah, I would assume so. I don't know the exact answer to that, but what I do know is that, this started at Friday. They're starting as early as Friday, right? Making these and selling them that same day.
Okay.
But then throughout the weekend.
They don't wait until Fat Tuesday for all the sales. I got you.
Oh, no. It's a weekend long event. And really, so, things were going fine Friday, Saturday, both machines broke. They had to put out this message you're seeing here.
Yeah, 150 volunteers.
I
looked it up in past years, according to the reporting in that area, 70,000 Fasnachts sold. The pre-order, you could only pre-order if you got 6 dozen.
Yeah. So that's a lot. We did meet some people tonight who said, they were waiting to order that. They do it every year, and then they couldn't this year. It's such a bummer. So
is this a big fundraiser for them? Like they count on this to do something?
Yeah. So every year it really goes towards helping the church itself in various different, various ways. But this year was to help kind of restore the front doors of the church. And that's what they're really hoping.
Are they like these crazy, ornate, detailed doors? Like, I'm sure they're not just like close the door, right?
Well, okay. So the main problem behind that is that the doors they've had for, forever. And they were kind of like letting heat escape kind of. So, that racks up on their bills. So that's what they were saying. They really needed to restore that so that they can keep the costs down otherwise. And also just to kind of contribute to a place like a community, loved spot, community used spot.
Well, I'm sure it's an old church. They've been doing this for 100 years.
Right. That too. Yeah, of course. They told me listen, like the doors are not the original, okay, but you know they're still in need, and over these years, that's why these fundraisers are so important, because it's giving back to the church. That
Okay, so they had everything ready to go.
Yeah.
What do they do with all of their not their equipment, their supplies? Like, we saw you stand in front of these big, huge piles of sugar. I imagine they have everything else you need to make stuff too. Where does it all go?
Okay, so exactly. So all of that stuff that you saw me at 6 o'clock right next to is literally went up to my head. It was as tall as I was. All of those, tons there. So that is being returned to the supplier. But the milk and eggs, which you can't really return, right? That goes.
Eggs are like gold right now. But go ahead.
Yes, they are. Yes, and guess what? All the volunteers that helped out then get them. But it's not just you get them. They were selling them. It's a way to try and get some of that money back. I mean, they had to profit from this at all.
They had to purchase them on the front side to begin with. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, looking forward to seeing the story. And there's lots of places that make Fasnachts, but we're going to be 70,000 in the hole moving forward to tomorrow.
Nothing like this, apparently. Nothing like this.
Well, there's no. There's tons of places that do this. I'm not going to offend every other church in the area that makes Fasnachts all night long. No. But this one was one of the big ones. I'll give you that.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah.
And let's just go over what Fasnachts are real quick. They're like donuts. And
fried.
And the reason that this has been done traditionally on Fat Tuesday, or known as Shrove Tuesday, is that in the Christian faith, if you are going to follow Lent, you're going to give up a lot of stuff. Maybe that's the bread products, things like that, get healthier, who knows. And back in the day, you would use up all of the supplies in your kitchen that you weren't going to be using anymore, because you're giving up stuff. So you got to put it all in and make stuff and eat it. And then that way you're all plump and happy when you're going to start eating right and doing different things. So that's part of the tradition behind it. And you can still have the tradition. You just won't get it from there.
Right. Yes. Yes, definitely.
All right. We look forward to your Fasnacht expertise. Somebody here, you ever watched Seinfeld and the Soup Nazi?
Yes.
Okay. So they say no soup for you. So someone here.
No Fasnacht for you.
Well, and so they call him the Fasnazi, if you were going to do it that way.
Oh, jeez. Oh, my gosh.
That's why I was tribute to somebody else. That's not my joke, but not a bad one. Not a bad one. All right, Maxine, we'll see you later.
Okay, bye.
All right, we're going to switch things up. We're talking measles, okay? I just saw Dr. Deborah Birx, who was one of the infectious disease experts for the Donald Trump administration, a Pennsylvania native, actually. She just said that vaccination rates have fallen over the past 4 years. Not a lot, but enough. And so now we're starting to see some more outbreaks. And there's always been measles in small levels, but now apparently it's becoming a little bit more. And we're seeing some communities like Texas have these big outbreaks. Well, now some has come here, at least one to Pennsylvania. The county health officials in Montgomery County, the first known case in PA this year. Contact tracing is now going underway. Remember contact tracing? Taking you back, right? Everybody should be getting vaccinated with measles. And really, when you were a kid, you probably got this. Even the vaccine hesitancy we've seen since COVID, most people would have got it before then, unless they're young. And that's what's happening right now. If the vaccine hesitancy, even though it's not a lot, it's a little bit more than it used to be, is happening in young people. So parents that are questioning if all of these different vaccinations are needed at the same rates that are happening. But when it comes down to the head of Health and Human Services, which is RFK Jr., who is a vaccine skeptic, he says all of them aren't needed all the time. He says this one is a good one and people should be getting vaccinated. So it's a clear message from Health and Human Services for the federal level, RFK Jr. He says, got to get vaccinated for measles. And now we're starting to see there are a few more outbreaks like this across the country. It's very rare that it's deadly, but a child did die in Texas. We don't know if they had comorbidities or situations like that, but measles are back, not in big numbers, but some numbers that are higher than they've been in the past. And obviously this one's preventable. Melania Trump, her first big speech since she's become first lady. People are wondering what's going to be her thing. Now, if you look at the past, a lot of times these first ladies will take a certain issue and they want to attack it. I think it was bullying maybe for her the first time around. And it was literacy, I think, for Dr. Jill Biden and some other people. But this time around, she's starting with this. You see there on the screen is the Take It Down Act. You'd think this would already be around. It's basically to stop revenge porn, stuff like that, where people break up, someone's got some nudes of somebody else on their phone, they release it. Well, that's already against the law. But now with AI, it's become a little more squirrely. If you consider this, you could make something of this other person and then release it where it's not really them, but now they're saying under this situation, here's what would happen. So it's been passed by the Senate already. It would make it a federal crime to post intimate imagery online, whether they are real or AI created without the individual's consent, and require technology companies to swiftly remove the content. So once again, this passed the Senate. The House is going to look at this. Seems like a no-brainer. There might be some details that we don't know about, but on the surface, it seems like this one should get through. And then there's this story, a dumpster dog. Unfortunately, that is what happened. Somebody left a dog in a dumpster. It survived. And let's talk about it. Gary Township Police investigating after a dog was discovered abandoned in a dumpster February 13th. A very cute little dog right there. They saw it in the green waste management dumpster between the Bradenburg building, Williamsburg apartment building. Once again, this is Gary Township. The dog, it's an older male Chihuahua. See it right there. Had a blue and purple sweater on, no ID tag. Police say the dog appeared to be in good health aside from being cold. It was cold, of course, recently. Removed from the dumpster by a good Samaritan. Now okay, but they're trying to find the owner. Of course, they don't know if the owner did this. They don't know if this was taken and then put somewhere and the owner's looking for it. But a really cute dog in a dumpster that is doing okay now. But got to put that dog back with its owner as soon as possible. That is a variety of stories you will only see on 21 Next, which is why you got to make sure that you're following us. You set those notifications, see what's going on, and then comment, see what you like, what you don't, and we will take it all into account for the next time. I'm Joel D, in the place to be. It is a Monday, getting ready for Fat Tuesday. Have yourself a good Holy Week, everybody. We'll see you.